What up, people? What's up? 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 All right.
What up,
To
though?
our what's going on? What's going on? There we go. That's better. All right, to the audience, man. This is a last take a shot in the dark podcast surrounding the happenings of the day in the sports world. To my bottom is Kev. He's going to be our moderator, and I'm gonna let him explain to you a little more what's going on.
What up, though, people? How you doing tonight? My name is Kev, Kev. I will be your moderator slash, like what I like to call the shot master. Basically, these two are gonna go back and forth. I'll jump in when it's needed, but at the end of the day, somebody got to drink. This my man Henry over here. I'm gonna let him take it away. What up, though?
What up, y'all? How y'all doing, man? What up? I'm ready. Let's do this for real. Let's do this. Let's drink these shots and talk some stuff, man. Let's do it.
All right, Skip. Give me a take
What's
on
going
last
on,
night's game, man. Super Bowl 56.
Oh,
Lions and the Bengals.
the
I'm sorry,
Lions
the
and
Rams and the
Bengals. Oh
Bengals.
my God!
Rams and the Bengals.
Take a
It
shot.
should have been a
Take a
Lions.
shot.
But go ahead. Go ahead.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Hit it.
It
The
should have been a
Lions
Lions
and
and
the
the Bengals. You
Bengals.
said it.
Man, it will never be the Lions and nobody. It won't be the Lions and nobody ever. Y'all had the
Henry,
best
what you
running
got to
back in
say
the
about
history
that?
of
Ain't you a
football.
Lions fan?
They
Detroit
ran the
all
best.
day.
Listen, the best running back in the history of football was forced into retirement from that sorry ass team.
Ooh.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this though. That best running back, and he was a wonderful running back. But I'm gonna tell you something
Wonderful.
about him that everybody might not know. He had 2 touchdowns in all of his playoff games that he played
He
in.
only played one playoff game with that sorry ass team.
I'm talking
We
about
acting like y'all talking about Paris Simmons.
played in 7 playoff games. He had 200 yards rushing total and 2 touchdowns.
Well, let me ask you a question. You agree with me that he was probably the best running back ever, correct?
Absolutely.
How many times any of his linemen made the Pro Bowl?
Boy, him? How many times did he make
Yeah,
the Pro Bowl?
no, not him. His offensive lineman. How many of them made the Pro Bowl? They didn't, because he had to fake as soon as he handed the ball off. He made himself where he was. If he had had Emmitt Smith's line or Walter Payton's line or anybody else's line, he would rush 5,000 yards a season. So don't tell me about he rushed for 2 touchdowns in the playoffs like that's significant. His fucking line wasn't blocking for him.
Well, he did have 2,000 yards rushing. He's one of the what?
And
10
then
that had 2,000 yards rushing.
All right, hey. All right.
I was just going to say, let me get back to my question about the Super Bowl.
Let me
Both of you, we just go basically show what the show is. Hey,
let me finish.
Henry, hang on there, Hendo. Hang on, buddy. I'm gonna need you to take a shot. And Skip, I'm gonna need you to take a shot. Just go ahead and accept it. Welcome to A Shot in the Dark. Take a shot, Hendo. Let me see. Let's drink it off.
We drinking Tang over here. Fuck it.
Okay.
Dang.
And I need 2 shots. I need 2 shots now because I'm already pissed and the shit just started.
Well, you're gonna need a whole nother bottle fucking with me. I promise.
Hey, man, look here,
Skip. All right, Skip. Let me hear what you thought of last night, man. What happened?
First off, the Bengals and the Rams. Joe Burrow could have won that game. Had it been a better offensive coordinator saying, "Hey, throw a 5-yard slant, throw a 5-yard hook, throw some balls in the flats, or even roll out," it would have negated some of that bull rush up the middle. The one time he ran the ball up the middle, they all rushed from the outside. He got the first down. After that, they started rushing in the middle. He stayed in the pocket. He's not fleet-footed enough to scramble. Sacks 7 times, tied for the most in Super Bowl history. So, in my opinion, better offensive coordinator would have won that football game.
And he started off with 2 sacks in the first half. They only had I think it was 1 sack in the first
half.
1
sack in the first half.
And then 6 sacks in the second half. So obviously there were some adjustments that were made. But the funny thing about all of that is the fact that they still almost won. They still 7 sacks, 10 sacks, they still almost won.
Exactly.
What does that say about the Rams? What does that say about the Rams?
No.
The Bengals?
One thing I like to tell people when they say, what does that say about this team and that team? Every football team, all 32 of them, have 53 professional athletes. At any given time, all those athletes can play together and be as smooth as a well-oiled engine. So let's not say, what's that say? Because if Odell Beckham hadn't have gotten hurt, it would have been a blowout. Because Cooper Kupp didn't do shit in the first half because Odell Beckham was on fire. Once he got hurt, they were in a scramble, and they were like, oh, we got to get the ball to Cooper. And in the second half, when he started doing that, what happened? And Cooper Kupp is hands down the best receiver in the league this year.
Absolutely.
Cooper Kupp He had 8 catches for 92 yards and 2 touchdowns last night.
in the second half.
I also believe he won the Golden Hands Award. Isn't that what it's called?
Well, yeah. When they give anybody besides the quarterback the MVP, they want to change the name of it. It's some bullshit. But yeah.
So Skip, let me ask you this: What's the future of the Bengals?
Oh,
if they work on their offensive line and then plug and play a linebacker or some better cornerbacks. They need better defensive backs and a better offensive line, and they'll be right back next year. Now, will they make the Super Bowl next year? No, because you still got Buffalo, you still got Kansas City out there, and in my opinion, Buffalo. You still got Buffalo, and you still got Kansas City out there, and in my opinion, Buffalo is hands down the best team in the AFC. Period. New England got a good coach, and they got a strategy to win the sneak.
Buffalo put the AFC on notice. For sure.
It'll be exposed. New England will be exposed next year.
I think Josh Allen put the AFC on notice. Josh Allen put that he's a superstar, and he's future.
You think it's just Josh Allen on that team?
I was just about to say, because all those receivers catching the ball, all those linemen blocking and giving them time to do all that shit, the running back running the ball, that didn't matter?
Of course it did. But the plays that he made in that AFC Championship game were unbelievable. The plays.
So he was catching the ball also.
Oh, of course he's not catching the ball. But
okay, so the plays that were,
and I don't mean the AFC Championship. I'm sorry, but the divisional round, that dog fight that they had, that he showed talents that he has never showed. He showed that the years that he's been.
Well, Patrick Mahomes scored just as many points
right there. What you
in that game? In the divisional game, where 26 points in the last 2 minutes of the game.
Right.
Well, but that boiled down to defense. Both of those teams had badass defenses.
You're right.
I don't care how you boil it down. It was clock mismanagement. There was timeout mismanagement. And what Patrick Mahomes did in 13 seconds, you blame that on the defense. You can say Patrick Mahomes was a genius all you want to. Nobody moved the ball 70 fucking yards in 13 seconds. There was no Hail Mary. There was a slant out, a 40-yard pass out of bounds, and a timeout.
Yeah.
In 13 seconds. It'll never happen again in history. But they give the credit to Pat Mahomes, not the receivers, not the play calling, and nothing else. Come on, man. No.
All right, bringing it back to what's next for the Bengals. $48.6 million cap. They got to spend all that on an O-line.
No.
Not only was he sacked 7 times in this,
they need some corners. They need some corners. They need some safeties. They need a linebacker. They got problems on defense. Definitely, they got problems.
They got problems on defense, but if they don't buy an offensive line, Joe Burrow is going to be the next Andrew Luck.
No.
Very good. And they're already comparing Joe Burrow's career to Andrew Luck as far as being sacked like he is and being hurt like he is.
Soldier Girl said, "Take a shot."
Oh no, this ain't how that works. Y'all trying to get me drunk already?
That's hey.
All right, Soldier Girl, don't be talking about let's take a shot. You ready to get drunk?
You, Soldier Girl.
Hey, it's gonna be a couple shows on here where I get too drunk and I start talking about life and shit, and I stop talking about sports.
I'll stop it.
And we hit the mute button.
I'm like, let me tell you what that girl did to me last night. I hate.
But check this out. Check this out. Back to the thing about the salary cap. You can't focus on one thing on any football team. You look at the Dallas Cowboys. They are stocked around the board, and they couldn't put it all together. So you do what the Rams did. You plug and play where you most need the attention, and you win. The Rams went and got a quarterback.
But the Cowboys are not stock the coach. They're not stock the coach. The coach is killing.
Okay, now watch this.
Look at the defense from this year.
I got to answer that. When people say
the owner too, Skip.
No, you know what?
Shut up and let you talk, but the owner too.
That's called hating, and I'm gonna tell you why. Bill Belichick was a hell of a defensive coordinator until he went to the Patriots. Correct. Bill Belichick has never been an offensive genius, but what is Tom Brady? The best quarterback ever. Correct. Who gets credit for that? Bill Belichick gets credit for it, and he never called an offensive play. So don't tell me it's about the coaching, because I can tell you how to make $1 million. It's up to you to go out there and do exactly what I told you. So if you don't execute as an athlete or a player, it's not the coach's fault.
So Tom Brady, so Bill Belichick ain't winning without Tom Brady.
No, hell no.
I disagree with that.
He never would have won 6 Super Bowls without Tom Brady. Now, are you kidding me? Do you watch the same football I watch? Oh, you're a Detroit fan, so I get it. I get it.
Hey, that's 2, Skip. That's 2, Skip. That's number 2.
That's 2.
Okay, well, let me go and get 3 out the way. Detroit, when Barry Sanders was there, Detroit 3 years running drafted a wide receiver first. 3 fucking years in a row. What makes you think possibly the best running back ever will want to stay when you don't give him no fucking help?
He went
to bum ass quarterback. Yeah, bum ass quarterback. You had a bum ass line, and you
listen, just for a second. Here's the problem that I'm having right now with you. You ask a question and then you answer the question that I'm supposed to answer.
Okay, go ahead. Go.
Do you know what the basics of a conversation is?
Is he teaching me?
I'm not trying to. I'm asking you.
He's giving me a lesson.
Do you know the basics of? Because let's get that straight.
What? Okay.
I'll get it straight. David, before you give him a lesson, go ahead and hit that tang one time.
Right on time.
I'm gonna get the basics straight for you since you asked me. Did I know the basics?
Skip, hold on.
Ask me a question about Barry Sanders, right?
I got you. I got you. But hold on. But it was a statement more so than a question. But go ahead.
It was not look. Barry Sanders played for the Lions from 1985 to 1999, right? 1986 to 1999, right?
Mm-hmm.
He went to the playoffs 8 times. In those years, he went to the playoffs 8 times and won NFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
What more do you want? What more do you want? I understand
a Super Bowl,
everything, but you went to the playoffs 8 times and went to one NFC Championship game.
Matt Stafford was with the Lions for 12 years.
You had 200 yards rush. I'm a Lions fan. I love the Lions.
Matt Stafford was with the Lions for 12 years and went 0-3 in the playoffs.
You need to be realistic about the Lions franchise. I'm tired of people talking about the Lions franchise the way they do. Yes, we haven't won anything. Yes, we have been what we are, the doormats and all that kind of stuff. But we're not going to sit up here and say that players that have came to Detroit and left Detroit didn't have success. We've been to the playoffs several times, especially in the 90s. It hasn't happened much lately. It's only been 3 times in the 2010.
And Matt Stafford was 0-3 in those.
But they went to the playoffs 8 times in 10 years and went to an NFC Championship game.
Going to the playoffs does not mean success.
I think going to the playoffs. I think if you go to the playoffs, that's a successful season. Obviously, depending on what team.
The Bengals got in by accident.
Yeah, the Bengals definitely got in.
They got in by accident. They had a 10-7 season.
How did the Bengals?
They didn't put some. They put some magical shit together during the playoffs. But they were supposed to be in the playoffs.
How you figure that?
All the Chargers had to do was tie or win to go to the playoffs.
And how likely is that?
And they would have been in, not the Bengals.
The Chargers are a better team than the Bengals, man. Come on now.
I agree with that.
I'm talking to him. He said, how would that have been? The Chargers are a way better team than the Bengals.
The Chargers are not a better team than the Bengals.
Who has a better quarterback? Who has a better quarterback?
The Bengals. Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than Justin Herbert. Absolutely. And you know why?
Because my God.
Justin Herbert.
I agree with that.
Justin Herbert does this.
I agree with that.
He does this. You never know. You never know what Justin Herbert's gonna show up.
Joe Burrow just has that new to the league cockiness to him right now.
And I'm gonna say this to you too. That's the whole moniker of the San Diego Chargers. I mean, the LA Chargers now. That's the moniker of their whole franchise. It's always been like that. You never know what team you're gonna get. Since Phillip Rivers been with them for all those years, even before whoever. Since Phillip Rivers, it's been the same thing, up and down. And how many times have the San Diego Chargers gotten out of the first round, or the LA Chargers gotten out of the first round of the playoffs? In the last 15 years.
Oh.
Well, since nobody I know is a Chargers fan, I can't answer that question accurately because them getting
once. I'll answer it for you once. I'm gonna ask you a question and answer it like you do me once.
Okay. So
but Henry,
I'm gonna take a shot of Tang for that too.
Take a shot of Tang for that. Hey, but Henry, Detroit never addressed the line and never had a great QB when Barry was there.
My question is, why are we talking about Detroit?
Because you said I got one more thing to say about Detroit.
Why are we talking? Detroit is not relevant right now. They've
never been relevant since Barry left. Y'all had 3 of the best receivers ever. Calvin Johnson.
I was going to say Calvin Johnson. Yeah.
And destroyed their fucking careers.
And who was your team? The Hurricanes?
The 49. Yeah. Oh, definitely these. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. They ain't shit in Illinois worth nothing.
Miami turned their season.
I'm sorry. Michigan. I said Illinois. Detroit, Michigan. Ain't shit in Michigan. Ain't nothing in Michigan worth a shit.
Yeah,
not one.
Yeah, the Wolverines just, fuck the Wolverines out. They was just in the playoff, but yeah, you're right. Anyway, go ahead, Kev. Go ahead, Kev, first.
But the 49ers on my team.
I mean, hey, Kev, if I'm wrong or right that the Wolverines was just in the college football playoff. Am I right?
They were. And what happened?
I'm a Spartans fan, personally.
When's the last time the Hurricanes were there? When's the last time the Hurricanes were relevant?
2008, 9.
Yeah, with who? Willis McGahee?
No, that was 2001, 2002. That's when they were the shit. When they went undefeated 2 years in a row.
Is Michigan losing their coach? Ain't Harbaugh leaving?
Gone.
He gone. Yeah, he gone. Sure. You ain't gonna see Michigan again for a while.
All right, well.
But anyway, let's get back on chance here, man. Because I see now he kind of got himself feelings about them goddamn Detroit Lions.
No. This is
OBJ. What you think? He got a torn ACL. You said earlier, Skip, that if he would have stayed in the game, it would have been
a blowout.
Much different.
It would have been a blowout because they would have had the key on one or the other, and you definitely can't not overlook Cooper Kupp. They would have done it because Odell Beckham was on his way in the first half. They would have been like, we got to stop him, forgetting that you got the best receiver in the league this year on the left side, and it would have been a blowout.
Henry?
You know what? I don't know about all of that. I mean, I'm gonna tell you something that I think about Odell Beckham. I think Odell Beckham's overrated. I think he's overrated. I don't think he is this, end all be all guy, because I mean, you take a guy that was with the Giants. He made that one spectacular catch, and then his career kind of skyrocketed a little bit, but it didn't skyrocket into receptions or touchdowns. Like, he was never top of the league in receptions. He was never top of the league in touchdowns. He was never, somebody that defenses had to 100% game plan against. And then he got hurt in New York. He broke his leg. And then that was it for New York. Then he got traded to the Browns, and things didn't work out in the Browns for whatever reason. Maybe it had something to do with him. There's always controversy surrounding him. He's a prima donna, all that kind of stuff, which, all right, that's fine. But it didn't work out in Cleveland. So then he gets traded to the Rams, and he plays, 5 or 6 games with the Rams. He plays good. And then in the Super Bowl, he gets hurt. I'm not saying that he's not a good receiver. I think he's a good receiver, but I think that we put a little too much. What's the word I'm looking for, Kev? We put a little too much.
You just rely on him too much.
I don't think that he is.
He's not that caliber. I completely agree with you.
I mean,
he's not that caliber. He's got something brewing, but Odell Beckham's whole career
we talk about Odell Beckham
off of that catch against the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think so.
Ever since then, he done shit until this season when he got traded to the Rams.
Unless you can tell me something.
Hold on.
Has he ever had 100? Has he ever had 100 receptions? Has he ever had 15 touchdowns?
He's a crybaby. That's what he is.
Let me answer one of these goddamn questions. Just one.
Go ahead. I'm gonna take a shot.
Odell Beckham played with the New York Giants. They were a run-first offense. They had 2 All-Pro running backs. Correct. They were a run-first offense. Name me another receiver.
Who were those running backs? I don't remember them being a run-first offense when Odell Beckham was over there. And let me stop by saying I love that jersey that you just leaned over and I seen the logo on the side. That jersey's real sweet. I like that. That's real nice. So anyway, continue. How were they a run first team when Odell Beckham was there?
If you're a football fan like you say you are, you would know.
Don't question his football.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. But see, how can you not say they weren't run first?
Tell me how.
How many times have the Giants had a receiver to have 100 receptions in a year? Period. They haven't. So don't tell me they're not run first. If they were pass first, Odell would have been targeted a lot more. So in a run first offense, he made his name by being that damn good in a run first offense. Now, until he got hurt, he was on ascension to be one of the best receivers in the league, correct? Every star player goes through ups and downs and media bullshit or whatever, and they labeled it. He went to Cleveland, and he was showing his ass until Baker Mayfield shut him out. And they labeled it. He goes to the Rams and he fits into the offense because they throw him the ball when they need to, and he's a good team player. Now, how is it that the Rams can get along with him but nobody else can?
How you keep saying that the Rams got along when he played for 5 games, Skip?
Bro, how long does it take to get involved in the
I would see if
it takes one game.
Hang on. I could easily.
And another thing, Skip. Didn't
Henry, calm down.
Was he not the Giants? The Giants just brought in Kenny Galladay. Did you think that they paid Kenny Galladay? So you talk about the Giants team that has always run first and never had everything. Do you think they brought in Kenny Galladay and paid him $80 million over 4 years to not catch 100 balls?
Has he caught 100?
I asked you a question. Answer the question.
I'm answering the fucking question. Did he catch 100?
Of course, he got hurt.
Oh, why?
Well, did they bring him in not to catch 100 balls? Did they give him 7? How many receivers have the Giants paid? This is a better question, Kev. Right quick. How many receivers have the Giants paid? Buku. I hate to use the word buku, but high dollars, like receiving dollars.
No.
But they've also had 3 coaches in 6 years. So they're not making too many smart decisions over there.
Right. I'm talking about what he said about the fact that the Giants are always a run-first team and the receiver has never been something that they focus on run passing.
I don't really see
why would they pay a guy? Why would they pay a
Eli Manning for all them years?
Why would they pay a guy $75 million to come in there and catch less than 100 balls?
Because the market dictated that for that receiver for what he did in his past.
But they had to pay all that money.
You asked the question, I answered it. The market dictated that he get that money. That's why. End of discussion.
But were there other receivers out there?
Let's just agree that you both.
No.
You both got a point, but you're both taking a shot.
I know one thing. If this is what it's going to be, take my shot.
Take a shot, man. I disagree.
Oh my. Oh, because you disagree, I gotta take a shot.
No, both of you are taking
no,
a shot.
No, I'm talking to him. Kel, I'm talking to Henry here. You disagree with what I said, but you can't name a better receiver in the market when they gave him that $75 million, can you?
Of course I can.
Name one.
Absolutely.
That was in the free agent. Okay, you can't. Exactly. So the market dictates.
Allen Robinson from the Bears.
You need to drink that whole fucking bottle of saying that shit. I don't even know how to spell that bullshit. Allen Robinson.
What I'm saying, they could have got Allen Robinson for much cheaper because he was a free agent. The Bears re-signed him. They could have got Allen Robinson for much cheaper, and Allen Robinson is a solid receiver that you talk about the Giants always had. A Mario Manningham. A guy like that that'll play for the Giants. Even a Shepard, even a Sterling Shepard, like what he does for them. They could have got they're a run first team, like you said. They know what. Last thing, Skip. I'm sorry. I see you getting frustrated. I see.
No, never frustrated. Never frustrated. It's just that you said 1,000 things, and you're gonna finish. You're gonna ask me to answer all 1,000 of them when I can't remember all 1,000 of them because you changed the subject.
I didn't change the subject. I'm talking about
the question was. Name a better receiver on the market at the time that they gave him them $70 million, and you said Alvin some fucking body. He hasn't caught 50 fucking balls. So tell me how he was better. How did he get $70 million?
No, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Exactly, and that's why the Giants signed that boy for $70 million because his actions and his resume asked for it. They needed a better receiver than what they had. They had to pay him. That's why he got $70 million.
But they brought him in to catch more. They brought him in to be a 100-catch guy.
Did the quarterback stay upright long enough to get him them 100 balls?
So now that's different. So now we're talking. Now you changing the subject. So we talking about Daniel Jones now?
No, that has something to do with it.
Now you change the subject.
If they brought him in to catch this many balls, but they ain't got nobody, he ain't got no way to get this many balls to him. That's on them.
Exactly, because they weren't on pack. Dog. Hey, Kel, here you go. The reason Daniel Jones couldn't stay upright because they were a run-first offense. They were run blockers, not pass blockers. So you go get somebody, you want to get them 100 passes through, and he can't stay in the pocket 3.5 seconds to get it to him because they were a run-blocking line. Anybody that knows football would understand why quarterbacks get sacked so much because they're not pass blockers.
Skip, I understand that. But that's not the reason why the Giants are thinking about moving on from Daniel Jones. It's not because he gets sacked all the time.
When the fuck did we start talking about Daniel Jones?
Why are the Giants thinking about moving on at the quarterback position or wondering if Daniel Jones is their
because he's a bust.
Tell me that. Why is that, Skip? Is it because the offensive line sucks and he gets sacked? Is it because his weapons be hurt all the time? Why are they thinking about?
Okay, I'm gonna tell. Okay, here's my opinion. Why?
Now you notice what I did. I asked you a question.
God.
Well, just
no, you know what?
David, let the man talk.
For you to want to be a teacher, sometimes you have to let the student answer. Ooh. You done said that shit 3 times. You notice what I did? We get it the first time you said it. Now, the answer to that question is the same reason the 49ers want to get rid of Garoppolo. He's going to be an $80 million hit on the cap. His ass got to go. When he was the backup to Tom Brady, he was all fucking world because he was backing up the GOAT. When they brought Daniel Jones in there, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. The line ain't producing. It's Daniel Jones' fault. When Dak Prescott got hurt, the Dallas Cowboys went in the fucking tank. So it's about the line first. You can say what you want. If they're a run-first offense and you try to make them a pass offense without changing that fucking line, he's going to get hurt, Andrew Luck.
All right, hang on, Skip. I'm gonna say something, and people might think I'm a fucking idiot for it, but I believe it to be absolutely true. Tony Romo was a good quarterback. No.
Garbage. Tony Romo had all the weapons he needed and still could do what the fuck he needed.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Tony Romo had all the weapons he needed when he finally got an O-line. Well, I believe
Dallas is stop that. Now I'm gonna cut your ass off. Dallas is always
had the best season.
They've always had an offensive line
of his career when he finally got an offensive line. Him and DeMarco Murray both had a breakout year. DeMarco Murray went to the Eagles the following year, but they went 12-4. Hang on, they went 12-4, and then the next season he got hurt, he retired, blah blah. Dak Prescott comes in for 3 years in a row and has a great start because of that offensive line. Now we have lost some of those offensive linemen, 2 of which retired. So now, of course, the offensive line is not where it was. Zeke he's a bum, in my opinion.
You know what?
But it starts with the line.
That's what I say.
Because before that, he never had a chance to throw the ball.
Hey, Skip, I'm gonna give you a stat right quick that you probably don't know. All right, real quick.
All right.
So Daniel Jones last year had 16 fumbles. He fumbled the ball 16 times.
Joe Burrow has 17 interceptions, and he in the Super Bowl. So throw that stat away. Give me another one. Yeah, throw that stat away. So give me another one. Now they both turned the ball over 17 times. One made the Super Bowl, one didn't. Give me another one.
The year before that, he turned the ball over. He fumbled the ball, turned the ball over 14 times.
The year before that, Cincinnati didn't make the playoffs. Give me another one.
Joe Burrow towards ACL too.
Skip. I'm not comparing Cincinnati to the Giants. I'm telling you. I'm answering the question about why it is that the New York Giants are moving on or thinking about moving on from Daniel Jones. You said it's because the offensive line sucks and he gets sacked a lot. I'm trying to debate that and tell you that that's not the case.
So in those 17 fumbles, was he what?
Too much.
Right, but in those 17 fumbles now, you didn't say interceptions. In those 16 or 17 fumbles, whatever it was you just said, was he running the ball or was he getting sacked?
Running the ball and getting sacked. Both.
What quarterback you know outside of your boy that played for the Ravens and Kyler Murray and Pat Mahomes to have offensive run plays? I know Daniel Jones doesn't.
I didn't say. Did I say offensive run plays?
Exactly. We're talking about a quarterback, right? You say he was running, so he fumbled 16 times running the football.
Of course, I said both. Sometimes when he got sacked, sometimes when he's running the ball. But I'm gonna say this: if you take any, you cannot. Even if you're getting sacked, you can't fumble the ball. They teach you how to hold on to the ball, even if you're a quarterback and you're getting sacked. His problem is that he turns the ball over too much. The defense is on the field too much because he turns the ball over too much.
I get that.
It destroys drives and it destroys games.
I get that. And you're
is their offensive line not as good at what it needs? Of course it is. They have to address
it. Right.
They have a whole bunch of things on that team that they have to address. But don't sit up here and say that the fact that Daniel Jones is who he is because he gets sacked too much and the offensive line is the problem. No, that's not.
But hold on, Henry. God damn. Wait a minute. You just said the offensive line is not the problem when he gets sacked. Who needs to block those 275-pound guys running at the quarterback?
It is offensive line.
Okay, so if they don't block it, what happens to the quarterback?
He gets sacked.
So it's whose problem? It's Daniel Jones' problem? Get the fuck out of here, man.
All right, bring it in. We are way off topic from the Super Bowl. Hen dog, I'm gonna need you to calm it down. We trying to. We got way off topic from the Super Bowl. You make me want to take
my own shot, Skip.
Yeah, because you just said some crazy ass shit there. You just said some crazy ass shit. It's not because he gets sacked.
Hey, all right.
I said they teach you how to protect the ball. My bad, Kev. Go ahead, dog.
The Super Bowl halftime show.
Yep.
What you think? What you know?
50 Cent should have been hanging upside down, looking like a fucking apricot. That's what I know.
They said 50 Cent is a whole $1 now. He been eating good.
That motherfucker swole wearing them little ass clothes. But no, it was a good halftime show, man. It really was, because with all the superstars they had out there, and they were able to get them all in. You know, that was real nice. It was really nice. Now, I saw some things on Instagram and Facebook where a lot of people were like, okay, next year we're going to have a bunch. They named a bunch of rock guys, you know, rock and roll groups and all of this. And my thing is, a lot of the guys they were naming were just over the hill. You know, most of those guys last night were still relevant. 50 Cent hasn't put anything out in a minute. Eminem hasn't either. You know,
but we know 50 from the TV shows.
Exactly. Yeah. And and the halftime show brought a lot of people to the game because of who was there. I think if you have a bunch of those rock groups that people were naming, I think somebody said Guns N' Roses. That's an 80s group, 80s or 90s group. You know, they were legendary, but when you name all those rock groups like that, you got to think about the draw. You know, people that grew up under those in that era are not going to watch the whole game. They're going to tune in for the halftime show, if that's the case. But I think it was good, man. I don't think it was the best ever. I think it was good.
I feel like Snoop did a good. I feel Snoop is universal. You know what I mean? White folks, black folks, Hispanic folks, everybody loves Snoop.
Snoop is like Kevin Hart. Snoop is like Kevin Hart. As long as you see him, you're gonna eventually like him. And Snoop does everything. Right. He's with Martha Stewart. He's on all the comedy shows. Yeah, the Corona commercials and everything. So as long as they stay in your face, they don't get tired of you if you're doing things different. Same thing with Kevin Hart. You know, he was doing comedy, then he started doing every fucking movie, which I don't blame him. But as long as you keep giving them something different, you're gonna be relevant.
So here's something. What do you think about Eminem taking a knee against the NFL's approval?
See, it's one thing to preach, hey, we're all for Black Lives Matter and all of this and unity and blah, 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 and then tell somebody, don't do that. And Eminem got enough fucking money to where he was like, you know what? I'm going to do it because you told me not to.
Roger Goodell was sitting with Russell Wilson and LeBron James last night.
The NFL public spokesperson said that we have been to several rehearsals and we knew that Eminem was going to do that and we approved. So that might be a little piece of information that y'all might not have known. But is anybody know what my?
But I know it was stated. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. My whole thing was, you know, we're having this whole, and I love the NFL. I love the NFL. I watch it. I mean, I love the NFL. But sometimes I get a little frustrated with, you know, when it comes to minorities in the NFL and race in the NFL. Okay, so we talk about the fact that, you know, we're having a controversy about African American coaches in the NFL and not getting the proper opportunities that they should get and all that kind of stuff. But then, you know, you're able to, and we're talking about the NFL is wrong for that or not up to date on that. But then you put on a halftime show where you have all African American entertainers, and I just feel like that's designed to get African Americans to continuously support the NFL, and not just continuously support the NFL, but give the NFL our dollars. And it's kind of like the same thing with the NBA when the NBA allowed players to put social justice phrases on their jerseys and put Black Lives Matter on the floor, and that's great. But they did that because they wanted our dollars, because they recognize how much we contribute and how much we pay to that. Because we're talking about an NBA that didn't allow hip hop at all in its makeup, because
until Allen Iverson.
They try to take Allen Iverson out of it and say, all right, well, you got to dress a certain way, you have to do this. But then when they realize how much money you're making off of that shit, then it's like, oh, well, now every single time we go to commercial when LeBron James dunks, we're playing some Kool in the Gang, or we're playing some, you know what I'm saying, we're playing some Earth, Wind, and Fire or something like that, all black. And that's the same. So when I was watching that, I love every single individual that performed on that show, and I've grown up with them. I've been, all that, but I just thought it was kind of hypocritical to see them, and it kind of frustrated me as far as Black people are concerned, why they would actually go out there and still do that like that, knowing about all the controversy that's going on with African Americans getting opportunities, not just as owners, but also getting opportunities as coaches. And then you go out there and you make all this money. I understand you getting a check and money, that's cool, but it kind of frustrated me when I saw that aspect of it.
So let me ask you, I don't know. I mean, what would you have rather had then?
I would have.
Sorry, Skip, you look like you had something.
But I gotta say something. When you're not in the position that these guys are in, we can say what we would do. When in actuality,
I can't
when
argue.
when in actuality, if we were to get in that position, sometimes contracts dictate a certain thing for you to get these millions of dollars. Sometimes welfare, the worry about you taking care of your family dictates a whole lot of shit.
Absolutely.
So to sit here and say when we're broke, oh, well, if I made $20 million, I'm gonna do shit. Yes, the fuck you would.
Absolutely.
Simply because the reason you're there is for the dollar. Bottom line. Now, if the Black consumer said, you know what, we ain't got to give them our money, it would change a whole fucking lot of things. But Black people, and I'm one. Black people, and I'm one.
The whole U.S.
That's what I'm saying. Black people, and I'm one of them, are not gonna stop. So
why is that?
They cater because we're the only race that don't stick together as we should. Think about that.
So what about what happened? What happened during the civil rights movement? That wasn't sticking together.
Man, did they have the NFL back then?
Yeah.
So let's not go back 40 years. No, come on, man. They had the AFL then in the civil rights movement. How old are you?
The NFL was after that. The NFL was definitely.
Anyway, man, what I'm saying is this. We can sit here because you just said the civil rights movement, man. I
was just talking about a time where African Americans did stick together. Now, did it?
That was during the civil rights movement. We're talking about the NFL.
We're talking about sports.
Hey, all right, Damon.
What's boycott, which definitely happened during that was an exact. I'm fishing for examples of African Americans sticking together. Skip, come on, man.
I'm trying to tell you what, but no. But see, I'm telling you, we don't, and I'm going to give you some examples. You watch this. Jamaicans.
Hang on, Skip. We're not going to go into it. We not. I'm sorry. We hit it.
Okay. Look.
Henry.
Skip, this is a sports show, dog. It's a sports show.
Skip, take a shot.
I'm well versed in every guy. But listen, I'm well versed in all of it.
It's my fault. Hey, Kev, it's my fault. I should have just
You good, bro. We good. Hey, look, that's what I'm going to let you go, but sometimes I got to stop. And because sometimes it takes it too far. I know, right? Soldier Girl sees it. See, he about to start talking about life.
But listen, I
told you, Soldier Girl. I told you.
Hey, hang on. It's 3rd and 1. You got under 2 minutes left. You run the ball with P-Rod, who's only got 4 yards total in the night. Why wouldn't you go to Mixon, who was 15 for 72?
Now there could have been a lot of variables. He could have been tired. He could have just came out of the game and didn't have enough energy to do what they want, what they expected. I mean, there could have been a bunch of other things the reason why they didn't run him. It may not have been a play that he's been practiced on. We don't know. So to sit here as an armchair quarterback and say, hey, you should have did this, you should have did that. We should be coaching.
I think they put him in there as a decoy. They put him in there as a decoy. They tried to catch the Rams off guard. They didn't think the Rams probably didn't think that they was giving. I'm sorry, the Rams probably didn't think that they was gonna give him the ball. I think they was trying to surprise him a little bit, trying to do some like the flea flicker play that they ran to Higbee, or was that
exactly? And I think it was.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. I think they was trying to use him.
And I'm on the same page with you. And I think it was a decoy. It was like, you know what? It's a passing down. They're not gonna run it. And normally that'll get you a first down. It just so happens that Aaron Donald and the boys was like, oh, no, you ain't running. That's just the bottom line.
I think Joe Burrow should have just. I'm
going to tell you something real quick, Skip. I'm going to tell you something that's funny. Like, out of all the Super Bowls that we've ever watched, out of all the NFL, NBA finals we've ever watched, it's funny how the players the best players on the team always seem to step up when it's time to step up. And that's why that's why they're delegated as the best players. Aaron Donald, stepped up. Aaron Donald made the play at the end to stop that Bengals drive. Aaron Donald is the best player on the defense, and that's the beauty of sports.
So if we're talking about Aaron Donald, is he going to retire? He finally got his ring. You going to retire? You going to come back? You did what you had to do. My
hold on.
Go ahead.
That feeling of winning, and the team is going to be intact for at least another year, or bring him back, and then that paycheck also. So no, I don't think he wasn't flirting with retirement. No way, that was the commentator.
No, he was talking about it. He was talking about retiring.
Man, whatever. That's probably to bring attention to
again.
He ain't retired.
Thank you, man. The man has been an All-Pro for 8 of 10 straight fucking years.
Yeah.
So I mean, who retires at the top of their game?
Hey, Skip, who better? Aaron Donald or Reggie White? Yeah.
There were two. Watch this. I'm gonna give it to you wrong. Aaron Donald is the better athlete. He's stronger, younger, faster, different generation. But if you put both of them on, it's just like comparing them to Lawrence Taylor. You can't, because
I didn't even bring him up because you can't.
But they play different positions. Aaron Donald is the interior lineman.
Right.
Reggie White played on the end. And all of the stats he got from the end. They shuffle Aaron Donald around to get better or favorable matchups for him. They never did that with Reggie White. They put him on the left end. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just because I was just. Did they use Reggie White as specifically a pass rusher, or did they also use him to stop the runs? Because they don't use ends to stop the run, do they?
Well, see, the thing about it, Reggie White was one of those guys like Dion. You ran away from him because he was going to beat his matchup. So I can't say they used him for a run or pass. He was just a wizard. He beat everybody over there, so you had to shut off one half of the running field. Absolutely. So they either ran up the middle or away from him. Yeah. So with Aaron Donald, they said, well, this offensive tackle is weak. Let's move him over there. Oh, the left guard is weak. Let's move him over there. Reggie White never moved. So to compare the two, because they played two different positions, if they had played the same position, I would say Aaron Donald all day. Okay. But Reggie White still went to, I think, 14 Pro Bowls.
So, I don't know that number.
It's up there. It's up there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up there. So at every team he went to, he was the fucking man on defense.
Who's your favorite NFL player of all time? I gotta know.
Jerry Rice.
Okay.
I'm a 49ers fan. Period. The best to ever kiss football.
Samuel, Spartanburg.
The best to ever.
Who was yours, Ken?
What's up? My favorite? No, I was just saying he's a 49ers fan. So Deebo Samuel, we from the same hometown. We grew up. He's from Highland Park, Spartanburg. So, we grew up 10 minutes apart.
Hell, how you a Cowboy fan and Deebo the same?
We from the same city, so of course I support him. Ain't a whole Skip. I told you on the ACC podcast, the trailer park and the hood are the same thing, baby. I will support him all the way through his shit. Okay, I will support him his whole career.
Listen,
just like the record show, mine is Charles Woodson. So we keep moving, man. Mine Charles.
Hold on, hang on. What you mean help? I got a pen too. Hey, you see the comments?
You ain't important like me. You ain't important like me.
Look, we all.
I'm taking notes of this bullshit. That's what I'm doing.
You just digging dirt for next time. I already know. Skip gonna come back. Hold on now. Last week you said.
Hey, Skip.
You said.
But see,
that pen don't make you smarter. You're not Skip Bayless.
You're right. And you are correct. But hold on. The one. No, in this podcast.
You super black.
In this podcast, I'm Shannon and you're Skip, because you saying a bunch of bullshit just like Skip do.
A bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, just like Skip, you spewing a bunch of bullshit.
But I said,
the offensive line.
Let me respond to that. Okay, that's fine. But I said a whole bunch of relevant shit too.
You're right, and he does too. But at the end of the day, when that show
shit from 20 years ago.
No, he said the civil rights movement.
That was one comment that I said that NFL was in existence during the civil rights movement.
Oh my God, it was not. The AFL was, sir. The American Football League. The American Football League.
The first Super Bowl happened what year?
the American Football League was the first NFL. The NFL came along 4 years later. They merged, and Joe Namath played them in the first Super Bowl in 1967.
Man, you are.
But Skip was a teenager back then.
No, I was born in 67. I was born in 67.
Hey, Skip, the first Super Bowl that ever happened was not the Jets and Joe Namath. Is that what you just said?
Don't let my eyes lie to you.
Is that what you just said?
It was Green Bay. It was Green Bay. The Jets and Joe Namath, he played for the Jets. What the fuck are you talking about?
Who was the first? Who?
Green Bay played some fucking body.
Y'all are talking for my. I wasn't even alive.
I said when they integrated, it was the year they integrated was the year Joe Namath played with the Jets, which was the second Super Bowl.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
No, it wasn't.
When was it?
When the Packers played the Kansas City Chiefs, the first Super Bowl. That's when they integrated. That's why they called it Super Bowls. They started the Super Bowl before it was.
Take a shot. Before you take that thought. Take a shot.
Yeah.
Listen to me. You answered the question. You want to say before, so you're telling me that the Jets weren't in the AFL and Green Bay wasn't in the NFL? Is that
of course. They
so how did they play? Hold on. How did they play in Super Bowl II if they weren't already integrated? I'll wait.
Because I'm telling you right now that the first Super Bowl was the Kansas City Chiefs and the Green Bay Packers. That was the first time it was integrated. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Super Bowl II, and it wasn't even Super Bowl II. Joe Namath wasn't even in Super Bowl II. Who played in Super Bowl II, Skip? It was the Minnesota Vikings played the Green Bay
Packers. We talking about Super Bowl II. I'm trying to talk about Super Bowl.
Super Bowl III was Joe Namath and the and the Baltimore Colts. That was Super Bowl III.
Skip, what was that
anyway? Skip Bayless.
You
Skip Bayless. You skip Bayless.
Skip. Well, Skip's trophies. Skip's trophies and more. What was your game-changing moment from last night for the Rams? What happened that just gave them that extra shot to go down there and win the game?
That pass interference call across the middle to the linebacker.
I thought that was
when the linebacker
when they were in the red zone.
That fake ass holding that they called on the linebacker on Cooper Kupp.
That was bullshit.
Number one, the defensive coach needed to be fired. Cooper Kupp should have been shadowed by the best cornerback they had, and Eli Apple definitely was not it. I would have double covered. Cooper Kupp wouldn't have sniffed the football. He wouldn't have sniffed it if it had been me.
Eli Apple on Twitter. I don't know if anybody saw that, but apparently the receiver told him you was applesauce right before he caught the ball.
That's lame.
They are ragging him on Twitter right now. Y'all go check that shit out.
That's super lame. That's lame as hell.
My God, they trying to roast me in the comments. You know I'm gonna get Mr. and Help I'm Addicted. It's on. Just letting you know. Mr. said I was in the old line with Harriet Tubman. Help I'm Addicted say Henry read about it. Skip was there. Okay. That's good shit. But back to the Super Bowl, man. You know, like I said, being an armchair quarterback, former football player, you can always say, man, if they just rolled out one or two times, it would have made the defense change some shit up. If they would have, came out and just been pass happy and did different things with Chase, with the wide receiver, it would have changed the game. But when they were up 4, driving, and Joe Burrow was hiking the fucking ball with 20 seconds left on the clock, that's clock mismanagement. I watched it like 4 plays in a row. There was at least 13 to 14 seconds left on the play clock. Then you give it to your boy, and he go down the field. Now, Pat Mahomes made an example that you could do it within any amount of time, but that's bullshit. We know it'll never happen again. But no, it was bad coaching all the way around, bad execution on the players. Joe Burrow has showed that he still is young. He has a lot to learn, so it's what it is. And
I agree with all of that. He's absolutely right. He's 100%.
Because I'm a bad motherfucker. You got to agree with me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
No. I couldn't have said it. I couldn't have said it any different than what he just said. He's absolutely right. And
that's right, because my name is motherfucking Skip.
Okay, you just did that before, man. You did that before. I mean, you literally just did that before, man. Okay.
Did I?
I'm agreeing with you. But yeah, the Bengals. See, one thing about rising teams. Now the Bengals caught magic, but I'm tell you something.
Henry, Henry, I'm sorry, I gotta cut you off. But everybody wants to know why the fuck you still got your Christmas tree up, bro?
Oh, because I love Christmas lights. I'm a big, humongous fan of Christmas lights. I love them. I keep them up. I got them in my classroom. I keep them up all the time. I love Christmas lights. I think they do. I love them. Love Christmas lights. Love Christmas lights. That's one of my things, man. I do. I love Christmas lights.
So ladies, if you go to his house and you expect a sexy ambiance,
you gonna have the psychedelic colors around this bitch. Let me hit the lights for you.
Instead of the disco ball coming down from the ceiling, he gonna have a wreath.
Hey, Kev, what you doing, man?
Hold on. Damn, I thought that joke was sick.
What's going on? What you doing?
Drinking?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's me.
Anyway.
So just so everybody knows, I'm reading the comments, and yes, you should be drinking along with us. I always encourage that because 9 times out of 10, if you're watching this, you're probably at home, so you ain't gotta go nowhere. Just go ahead and get drunk with us. Also, don't let my eyes fool you. Excuse me, because they get real small. Especially when I've been drinking and smoking a little bit, so no, I'm good to go. People keep thinking I'm drunk, and believe me, this can go all night.
So what's next?
Now that we've gotten that little bit of use,
what's next? Now,
hey! I finally skipped over to the comments. Yeah, anyways, all right, what's next for Matthew Stafford? 13 years in the league, he finally got a Super Bowl win. He's obviously going to stay at the Rams, but is this the peak? Is this what he does? Is he just going to go?
It's not the peak.
Away?
It's not the peak because he's always been a good quarterback. But fans, myself included, when our quarterback shits up or fucks up the field or doesn't do what we think they should do because they're getting paid big dollars, we always say get rid of it. Prime example are the Atlanta Falcons fans. Here, I'm in Atlanta. And every year, Matt Ryan this, Matt Ryan that, but you can't go get a better quarterback. So quit talking about getting rid of him and get him some weapons. You get Julio Jones, then he gets sacked a bunch of times. Then you come back and he's the MVP of the league. Now he's the best thing since like Fred. So you can't have it both ways. You see what I'm saying? You let Shanahan go for nothing, and Shanahan has been to 2 Super Bowls since he left y'all. So there's a whole bunch of variables that people don't think about when they say, well, like you said, now he's got his ring. What's next? To get another one. I'll take it to get many as possible. That's why Tom didn't quit. He felt like he could win without Bill, and he proved it. Now, Tampa was a stacked team, and all they needed was him. The Rams were a good team that needed a quarterback, and then they got Von Miller, and then they got Odell. But, yeah, sometimes you plug the holes up, and off you go. So, no, I don't think he's going to retire because you got a ring. Like I said, same thing with Aaron Donald. They're hungry now. They're even hungrier now. They know the feeling.
I think there's no ceiling for that team. There's no ceiling for that team because all the players that they have right now are under contract. I can't think of one of their main core players that aren't under contract. That's not going to be there for the long haul. They might, with the Cooper Kupps and the Cam Akers and maybe even the Sonny Michel's and also Matt Stafford and Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald, like those core players are going to be there. So like the ceiling is always going to be pointing up for that team. Now the problem is that our other teams going to get better and have the ability to compete with them. And I'm talking about teams like the 49ers or the Carolina. The Arizona Cardinals that started out 7-0 and we're taking over.
The Panthers ain't about to do shit.
Struggling teams like there's a lot of teams out there that are also getting better. As the Rams have won their Super Bowl. So, the competition might be a little tougher. And you talk about the Cowboys too, or the Eagles. The Eagles are probably one of the most intriguing teams to me that nobody talks about. The Eagles made the playoffs. And, I'm saying that they're still Jalen Hurts with a running game that is with an offensive line that Skip, you was just talking about that the Giants don't have. The Eagles have it. Mm-hmm. And they have a quarterback that could be somebody that could be special. I guess the jury's still out on him, but he just had his first playoff game. And he struggled, but a lot of people struggle in their first playoff game as a second-year quarterback. They have a defense, and Darius Slay, and some other great defensive players. The Eagles could be a team that could leapfrog the Cowboys next year in that division. Or
you're fucking delusional. Take a shot. You're absolutely fucking insane.
Is it the Washington Commodores or the Commandos?
It's the Washington
Commanders.
Football Club. They don't even.
No.
It's
the Commanders.
Yeah, the Commanders.
The Commanders.
Yeah, so the Commanders are a quarterback away from doing something. So anyway, so my thing is that yes, the ceiling is to finalize what I'm saying. Yes, the ceiling, they could win multiple Super Bowls with the roster that they have, but can they continue to beat some of the other teams that are also rising?
No. I don't think so. The NFC is very strong when it comes to getting to that place. You still have the Green Bay Packers, who you didn't mention.
Well, we don't know what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers, though, Skip.
Exactly, but that's what we're talking about. What's in place right
Aaron
now?
Rodgers is going to stay in fucking Green Bay.
We don't know that.
No, he's not fucking going anywhere. He's going to stay there.
A lot of people
he's
say
going to play another season.
What you think about? What you think? A lot of people say about him. A lot of people say he's going to Pittsburgh. What you think about that?
If he go to Pittsburgh, he'll retire next year.
So he's not.
It is.
Okay, so
he's going to try to Tom Brady. He's going to try to pull Tom Brady, go somewhere else and win a fucking Super Bowl. It's not going to happen.
And he can go somewhere else and win a Super Bowl. He can go somewhere else and win a Super Bowl. Yes, the fuck he can.
Why not?
He can go to the Cowboys. He can go to the Cowboys and win a Super Bowl.
Why not?
Yeah, he can go to your team and win a Super Bowl. Why not Pittsburgh? Because they'll run first, man. Tell me they're not.
They are. No,
so why the hell would you take Aaron Rodgers? Why would you take Aaron Rodgers to Pittsburgh for him to hand the fucking football off?
Yeah, you're right. Mike Tomlin likes to be aggressive up front.
It doesn't matter how good a receiver you have. If the offensive coordinator is run first, that's what it's going to be.
But you're not going to bring. But Skip, for a second, just give me a second. If you're the Steelers, you're not going to bring a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers into your franchise if you to hand the ball off. Skip, come on,
but
man.
if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're not going to recruit an Aaron Rodgers because of what you are.
You are because you have receivers out there that catch.
Listen, man. No, dog, you're still missing the point. You don't change a whole team's makeup because of one player. You don't. That's why Tom Brady chose Tampa. They were passed first.
They never build it though. Okay, so the whole problem. Hang on, Henry. Hang on, hen dog. So the whole thing was Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay gave him full control to do what he wanted to do. He brought in Antonio Brown. He brought in Gronkowski.
Hold on. Dog, why are you screaming?
Aaron Rodgers told the Packers at the beginning of the year, if y'all don't give me more control about who is on this team.
That is not what he said. That's not what he said. That's not what he said.
Yes, he did. Because he was about to leave last year.
Listen, man. Number one, he was on a contract, so he wasn't going no fucking well. So throw that shit away and you take a shot. Number two, he said he wanted some input. He didn't want no fucking control. Quit lying. Tom Brady went there and they asked him what he needed to get better. I need my Gronkowski. I would like an Antonio Brown. You know what, Tom? You're a Hall of Famer. You got 6 rings. Let's do that. So quit saying he went down there with control. You're making shit up. Typical Cowboy fan.
They let him do what the fuck he wanted to do because they knew
Come on, man.
Put a team together.
Come on, man. But dog, your words are complete fucking lies. You said he went down there and took control. He did not. You said Aaron Rodgers asked for control. Dog, you said
they gave him control to do what he needed to do.
You said Aaron Rodgers said he wanted control. He never said that. He said he wanted input. He wanted to be included in the decision making. That's not control. That's being in the know. That's being in the know. So if you're gonna say something, dog, spit the truth. Take another shot, Cowboy fan.
And Kev,
what do you mean?
Hold on, Kev, real quick. The reason that he said that is because he didn't want to be the focal point of everything that the Packers were trying to do. He didn't want to be the distraction. He said, I wanted the input, but I didn't want to be the one to make the decision because he didn't want to be that guy.
Thank you.
Hold on, real quick. That sports guy that holds the franchise hostage, like a James Harden, who is,
he's real quick, fucking Brady. What do you mean?
Hold on, Skip. James Harden,
you tripping?
Who, me?
No, Kev, he tripping like a motherfucker. Go ahead, Henry.
To finish my point. Hey, Skip, to reinforce my point, we talking about compared to a James Harden, who is a me guy, who is forcing his way out of another team.
Right.
He forced his way out of Houston. He didn't want to play in Houston. He forced his way out of Houston.
That's a little different.
That's a little different.
Huh? It's a little different with James Harden.
He don't want to play in Boston, so he played. They traded him to Philadelphia, right? Let's talk about that, Kev. We ain't talking about that. They traded him to Philadelphia. How that's gonna be different? What is gonna be different? My screen I'm too emotional.
But I'm gonna tell you why it's different with James Harden. He is a one of a kind player. Nobody else does it like he does. When he was in Houston, they tried to build a team around him, but they didn't build a running team. They built a post-up team. Hence the Dwight Howard and all the centers and everything they would get.
Because they tried to do inside outside shit, right?
Right, exactly. But that's what's going to happen in Philadelphia. They have a dominating presence on the inside. James Harden only would have to drive if they're losing or whatever. He can shoot the three. He can penetrate, dump it off. Pick and roll is going to be awesome. He never had that anywhere he went. Now, in New Jersey, in my opinion, the reason he wanted to leave because he was playing with two bitches. Kyrie Irving, in my opinion, is a straight bitch. He's a monster on the basketball court. But do y'all know that Kyrie Irving sat out last year because he was exhausted? He was like, you know what? This Black Lives Matter shit is irritating me. I'm going to sit down 2 games. That was his reasoning. It was on ESPN. I'm just going to sit out because my mind's all over the place with this Black Lives Matter movement shit, so I'm tired. I'm exhausted. That's a bitch move to me, making $17 million a year. I think this year he's making $33 million. Now, all of a sudden, I'm not going to take the vaccine. I'm going to hold y'all hostage. He held them hostage before James Harden did. James Harden had to carry the team because KD got hurt. It's what it is.
So instead of saying James Harden, I should have said Kyrie Irving.
What? No, you're right. Now, because James Harden has done that. He has a track record of doing it. What I'm saying is this. If I'm James Harden and my door is closing, I want to go somewhere somebody.
We switched. Hey, Skip. We switched sports completely.
Hey, Skip. Hey, Skip. I'm gonna tell you something, man.
We gotta bring that back. Look, we gonna hang on.
I like talking sports with you, Skip. Man, it's gonna be sweet. I like you, dog.
It's gonna be sweet. But hey, all right.
I like you, man.
Hey, fellas. Final shot of the night. All right, Henry. What's your final shot? Super Bowl 56. Take away.
You know, it was really, really good to see somebody other than Tom Brady and Pat Mahomes in that bitch. I ain't gonna lie. It was good to see some fresh blood in there. It was good to see. It's good to see a Bengals uniform. It was good to see a Rams uniform. I really, really appreciated that. The whole time when I knew both of them was gonna be there, I appreciated that. I knew it was gonna be a good game. I love football. I love good games. I think Joe Burrow is about to take over everything. Joe Burrow is about to take over everything. That quarterback right there, and that's a testament to how the colleges are preparing these quarterbacks and these players. They are NFL ready, especially these quarterbacks. And Joe Burrow is definitely an example of that. And then I haven't said nothing about Matt Stafford, and we gotta address Matt Stafford being I'm a Lions fan. I hate Matt Stafford. Fuck him.
Because he left at 1. He left y'all at 1.
He left y'all at 1. All right, Skip. Hey, Henry, take a double shot for me. It's the end of the show. Take a double shot for me. Let me just see. There you go. Skip. Final shot, man.
Final shot is this podcast is gonna be a fucking hit.
It's gonna be done.
I'm a part of a Facebook community. It's called Real Deal Sports Talk, where we do this exact same thing. But there's 10,000 people in there, in that group from all across the United States. So I'm going to definitely advertise it in there. We're going to get more input from the comments. And we're gonna have to make it, in my opinion, where we definitely cover all sports too. Because when he brought up the James Harden thing, that's a whole nother topic that we can cover. That's relevant.
Well, we're definitely going to go into others.
But as far as my Super Bowl pick next year is going to be the 49ers and the Buffalo Bills. That's what I see.
You're losing them. Absolutely.
So you think the Cowboys are going to do something this year when they were primed this year and they got slaughtered in the wild card?
I never said the Cowboys. I just don't think.
Well, who's your shot? Take your shot, sir.
Take my shot.
Yeah.
My shot is we got a whole off season. You know what I mean?
Don't circumvent the damn question. Answer the question. Who's your Super Bowl picks for next year? That's what you asked us.
My Super Bowl pick for next year. Okay, fuck you. Cowboys all day, baby. That's my team.
Y'all say that. Y'all say that every year, and don't get no fucking word close. Y'all
and see, so fucking what? One of these years it'll come true. Goddamn it! You speak it into existence.
Go ahead, Henry. You finna say something?
I don't think y'all gonna do it with Mike McCarthy. That's all I'm saying. Not with Mike McCarthy.
My honest opinion: Dallas won't win a Super Bowl until Jerry Jones is dead.
That could be true, Skip.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Jerry Jones holds back the entire team. He wants to be the owner and GM. Jason Garrett stayed around for 8 years because he was stuck under Jerry Jones' thumb. He was his little minion. He did whatever the fuck he wanted him to do, and that's why he stuck around. But after he produced so little after 8 seasons, he had to go.
Because Skip
brought in Mike McCarthy, and he's actually combating it. He's like, nah, let me do what I need to do. Right. And so the team is doing pretty well.
Absolutely. So, Kev, for a second, Skip, before you say anything, I'm about to give his comment a little validation because Bill Parcells and Jimmy Johnson, who were successful in Dallas, right? The last time they were successful, those teams. They left. Why, Skip? Why did they leave that organization, Skip?
Jimmy left because Jerry wanted to tell him how to run a team.
Exactly.
Now, can I go? Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just going to say, last thing. There's a little validation with what he's saying when it comes to Jimmy Jones. I mean, Jerry Jones. Now, I don't want to say dying. That's not a good thing to say. But being out of the way, maybe things can happen differently when that happens. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because, Anyway, go ahead.
Now, what's this? When Jerry bought the Cowboys, he fired probably the greatest coach at the time in the history of football.
Jimmy Johnson.
Just because. No. He did not.
Tom Landry.
Take another shot. No, I'm just playing. But anyway.
Bill Parcells.
It was Tom Landry. He fired Tom Landry coming into ownership. And everybody in their mama said they will never be shit because you fired a man that didn't need to be fired. As soon as he brought Jimmy in, what did Jimmy do? Let me run this team and I'll win you some Super Bowls. He started drafting speed. Nobody was drafting speed at every position there.
Michael Harden, Alvin Harper.
He changed the way coaches should look at a football. If I cannot run you, if I keep outrunning you, I'm going to eventually tire you out, and then I'm going to hand the ball off and beat you to death. That's pretty much what Jimmy did. Once they started winning, and they started getting all the marquee names, and they created the Emmitt Smith, and they created, I ain't going to say created Troy Aikman because he was already good, but, the Alvin Harpers of the world, because he was fast, somebody that can get the ball to him. Jimmy said, hey, why don't we do this? Jerry said, hey, why don't we do this? And Jimmy said, no, let me do it my way or I'll leave. Exactly. He had the power to do that. That's why he left and went to Miami. They gave him the power. So saying that the Cowboys won't win without Jerry, no. They just need a coach with a backbone.
Exactly.
Period.
And Mike McCarthy, I don't think Mike McCarthy is it.
No.
But
some people are happy to have a job.
But like I said though, I think it's something that should be talked about, that maybe the franchise is being held back because Jerry Jones is the owner. Say that, Skip. Comment on that, Skip.
Yeah, that too.
Franchise back. Look, all right. Look. Last take, final 2 words of the night.
Hold on. The show is over.
No, last take, we wrapping it up. We gonna
I got another hour, Skip. I got another hour.
You got another bottle? Because I saw you just take the last sip of that Tango. You got another bottle?
I can go get one. Shit.
Hey, Kev, you a little fucked up, ain't you?
Not at all.
Shit.
Look, y'all gotta remember, this is just beer.
We don't know what you did before you started drinking that beer, though. But anyway, my last take, man.
That needs to be a disclaimer. I don't drink that.
Hey, man, I'm
going to shout to somebody and be like, but anyway, keep talking.
I'm a motherfucker, man.
That's
what
I'm saying. You be like,
hey, look.
That's your problem for being light skinned. But anyway, how about these motherfucking hockey players? Why you do that?
Because I could go on and on and on and on, but it just be just.
And I know y'all can, goddammit. And I ran out of points to talk about. I had
no. But see, Kev, you
ain't shit, man. You just fucked up.
And you are correct. Thank you for letting everybody know that Skip ain't shit.
Because I be watching you, man. Yeah.
But Kev, the reason you ran out of points is because you kept cutting us off and intervening in the conversation.
Y'all went into the civil rights movement.
No, he went to the civil rights movement.
You went in. Y'all started going into basketball. Look,
yes,
we was on
this
track
is sports.
for Super Bowl 56.
And you are correct.
Oh, believe me, I know we are all
the
sports, but tonight was, I tried to focus on the Super Bowl.
Hey,
right,
Kev, seriously, you had no idea that it was gonna be the way it was between me and him.
Look, hey,
that's why you
we had to try it out and see. I knew you two would go into a black hole, but
so next time
you ran out of drink.
You gonna be real quick. You know how me and him are.
The commenters, hey man, y'all chime in please and tell us what y'all want us to talk about. Do y'all want to divide the time up between sports and everything else, because it's about you guys first and foremost?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're arguing about our points of view, but we definitely want you guys to say, hey, let's talk about the hockey game. Let's talk about James Harden, or this guy beating his girlfriend up or whatever. Because we're gonna cover it, but we want to start out on one thing and then venture off into other things too. And as y'all guys can see, we'll get carried away, but it's all love, no bullshit over here. It's just for y'all's entertainment and information, because I got a lot of it in this big ass head. So there you go.
All right. Before we log off, hey, hit the like and subscribe. Also, we will be back every Monday at 8 p.m. If I can get everybody to raise their drink in the air as we take one last shot before we get off the air.
And don't ask me what it is, because I'm not going to tell you.
I ain't got shit left. I wasn't even a shot. Hey, Skip. I love you, bro, man. You dope, man. We gonna do this, man.
Appreciate you, Pippin. Hey, long.